that opening is so goddamn good. Dororo follows the journey of a young man named Hyakimaru that has lost a lot of his body and will only regain it by slaying demons. And he's got a kid named Dororo following him, and it's just a very... feels really classic. So I wanted to share my thoughts on it today because my patrons actually voted on this show and they wanted me to watch it and do a video about it. So thank you so much, KIBI Clan. Really appreciate you. And if you want to join us in our Discord as well as be a part of those polls to make content happen and just really supporting the channel, then consider join them and me in our conversations that we have over there. I started off this show and the first few episodes really had me feeling like it's this classic show. I don't know what about the style of this show, but it just really felt like it's something that just came from like the Adult Swim, you know, late 2000s era, the first decade of 2000s. One of the two main characters is Hyakimaru, who is, again, somebody that really has no body. Like he got it completely taken away from him through this deal from a land, and without dropping too much spoilers, it's episode 1 details, but really Hyakimaru is just completely got screwed over in his life. And he's trying to get the body that he would have had back by killing these demons. And he, as a character, is like, at first he's so interesting because how does somebody without a body work? You know, he's got these prosthetic limbs that he's making do with, but it's really interesting to kind of see this guy start off as literally just a walking puppet kind of a thing that just, he's kind of living to kill demons. But then as this journey goes on, you not only get to see him get parts of his body back, but as he gets parts of his body back, you start to see his humanity, or whatever else you want to call it, start to spring out. You know, as he's becoming more human, he is also becoming more human. And that's a really interesting journey to kind of see unfold, both physically and mentally. And I love the conditions that literally he has to kill. There's more than just like, there's some demons that has his body and there's some that don't. And so whenever he kills a demon, it's kind of like, oh, is he gonna get a part of his body back? Is he gonna, damn. There's kind of that suspense you get whenever he kills one. But let's not forget the other main character being what the show is named after, Dororo. Dororo is a cool kid, honestly. He is something that just adds a lot of lightheartedness to the show, because obviously at the beginning, if we just followed Hyakimaru, there would be nothing like verbal to really engage with, or really a character get to know much other than just him slaughtering demons. So Dororo at first adds some personality to the show, and he's just instantly like a really interesting kid that's got a lot of personality, and the voice actress for him is so like just adorable sounding kid. It legitimately sounds like a child, which I believe it is voiced by a child. And he offers a lot to the story too, because ultimately, as we start to get to know this world, it's not just about like demons and ghouls and ghosts, whatever, inhabiting it and, you know, potentially eating humans. There's actually a lot of bigger problems as well that Dororo and Hyakimaru have very big ties to. The people of this land have a ruler, Daigo, and Daigo and his family, boy, they add a lot to the story. They made a deal that really came with some big repercussions, and they're now starting to see those repercussions start to get undone, but also come back. As Hyakimaru starts to take down some demons, we start to see that there is repercussions of what he is doing, and we get to see that through the ruler of this land being Daigo and his family. And they took part in making this deal that kind of robbed Hyakimaru of the life that he could have had. That's another thing that's interesting. It's not only interesting to see as Hyakimaru kills these demons, he gets his body back, but it's also interesting to see how, you know, that affects a deal that was made, and that's affecting this land. And we start to become to this point that there's not really one good guy and one bad guy in this show. Like Tohomaru is on the opposite side of things, being in this royal Daigo family, and he cares about his people. He genuinely does care about his people, and he's, at least through my eyes, he's a good man that just wants to look out for his people, his land, his culture, and Hyakimaru potentially threatens that. And that's what I mean. We start to just kind of get to know these people and how they each want something, but there isn't really a way for everybody to get what they want. It's a good story. In the first half, I was really interested in it. Really did have this kind of classic, like, late night Toonami feel kind of a thing to it. Something about it, man. I don't know. Maybe it was the OP, which again is fire. or the feel, but I don't know what. Something about it just kind of felt like Cowboy Bebop. But then the second half of the show, something about the second half kind of, it gets a lot deeper, and it's not bad, but just something about it isn't as engaging to me personally. But I still, like, it's one of those situations like Made in Abyss where even if it didn't necessarily engage me, I still respected what it was trying to do. Show overall has really good animation quality. That's the other thing. Like, the fights in the show, they aren't insanely well choreographed, but there are some that just look really good, and the animation is consistent throughout. There's never like dips or episodes that look better than the others. To me, it's the right length as well at 24 episodes, though I kind of questioned the ending. If it wrapped up on a really solid note, like I'm not questioning how it wrapped up, it's just something about it kind of felt a little bit sudden and anticlimactic, even though it really wasn't. Overall verdict, though, is that it's a really solid show with good characters, good animation, and really conflicting moralities to it, and just neat fights. And it just has kind of a questionable landing for me personally, but that doesn't kind of trump everything else about the show that I can't help but respect. I'm being generous here, but I just feel like it deserves to be in the A range just barely. So I'm gonna say A- for Dororo, the anime that aired 2019, because I hear there is like a classic black and white 60s or 70s version of something like that. But if you've seen this anime, I'd love to know what your thoughts were in the comments down below. Maybe what was your like favorite demon that Hyakimaru fought, or like body party got back. This anime is relatively new, so maybe no spoilers down there, but I'd love to basically talk about it with you in the comments down below. And you can check out another video to the side that YouTube thinks you'll like. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to be geek, be proud, be awesome.